I was going to ask how you deal with parent involvement, like overly involved parents.
We have a whole kind of section which we do on parents, which we kind of, this is like kind of workshop 1, believe it or not. There's a workshop 2 and a workshop 3. What happened was we went down to El Salvador to deliver this for Central America, and after 6 days of talking to 30 coaches, I left to fly home, and after writing 15 more pages of the things we'd forgotten to say, we suddenly realised there's a lot more to this than most people think. So parents we tend to do on workshop number 2. Some of the key things on parents, first of all, make sure that parents are on the same page right from the start. Right, so some of the programs we work with, they have a piece of paper at the top of it, it says coach and parent. And when the kid joins the program, it's given to the parent, and they say, can you write down what you expect us to do and what we should expect you to do? All right, so that they just actually, because sometimes the parent's expectation of what the product's going to be is very different. Right, and you have to sometimes be brave and say, well, I'm sorry, that's not kind of the way we do it here. We're not going to take your kid to every single tournament or do all those kind of things. But starting in the right footing, that's important. But the other thing we have to remember is the parent is a customer as much as the kid is a customer at this level. Yeah. So we have to look after them and do a lot of things for them. You generally have to ask yourself, what feedback are you going to give them? So whether it be report cards that they receive 3 times a year based on the curriculum that you're following, or whether it be that you have parents meetings, which remember they're best done at tournaments because that's when all the parents are there. Otherwise you have a parents meeting and the parents who come are the ones you don't need to talk to anyway because you see them all the time, and the ones that don't come are the ones you really wanted to come. Right, but when there's a tournament on, everybody's there, so that helps a lot. And the other thing is sometimes we have things like parent week, like in a 12-week session, week 7 is parent week, which means, say for example, there's 5 pros, but on this week Anna's not going to work. She's going to be talking to all the parents about what's going on all the other courts, and we're just going to jig the groups a little bit so that 5 pros worth of squads that week are going to be covered by 4 pros. Right. There's the thing I did yesterday, the slide, to make sure you go talk to parents, and then sometimes other facilities invite parents on the court for a particular week. I don't like the idea of banning parents completely from the court and treating parents like they're really bad. You know, like, you are not allowed on the court, you can never do this, you can never do this. What right have you got to say that? They pay the money, they're paying your mortgage. And without that parent being a supportive and knowledgeable part of the equation, their kid is never going to get good anyway. So, you know, you're just sort of sticking your head in the sand like an ostrich if you do that, unfortunately. So I think you have to instead engage with parents a lot, make it very clear from the start what you allow and what you don't allow and why. But, I mean, put your hand up if you're a parent. Okay, right. Keep your hand up if 100% of the time, everyone keep their hand up if you're a parent. Keep your hand up if 100% of the time you're absolutely confident you know what you're doing. Yeah? Most of us are lucky if 20% of the time we get it right. We need help. We need guidance. We want you to tell us what we should expect. We want to know what to do when our kid loses and starts crying. Yeah, we want to know what, yeah, remember sometimes, and this is part of the other presentation, but sometimes the kid's looking at the parent like, tell me the answer, you're my mum and dad. And the parent's going, I don't know the answer, but I've got to pretend that I do so my parent doesn't think I suck. Yeah? So somewhere along the line, you've really got to make sure that, you know, you think about the parent as a primary customer. Whenever we run a tournament, we always try to think about the kids and the parents. Yeah. So the few times we've run the Beijing Open, the Chinese restaurant that's trying to sell more, get more people to go to the Chinese restaurant, they're in over there doing a little cookery thing to cook for the parents. Chinese food. Yeah. Giving away discount coupons for their restaurant. Yeah. Sometimes we've had one facility I work with in Connecticut, they got the guy that does the chair massages to come in and give free massages, like free 5-10 minute massages to the parents. So now the parents are all chilled as well as watching their kids. All right? So you've got to set the rules. Did I tell you about the El Salvador thing yesterday? So I went to El Salvador, and interesting place El Salvador, because like outside every shop there's someone with a gun. And I went in and I said, are we safe? And they went, yeah, of course we're safe. I said, but there's a man outside with a gun. And they said, yeah, that's why we're safe. Right? But anyway, it was a lovely place, really nice people. And I went there and there was a tournament like this, but all the parents had just sat over here like drinking wine, eating tapas, having chilled out. And I said to the ITF representative down there, I said, your parents are great. She said, no, they're a nightmare. I said, but look, they're awesome. She said, nah. She said, like, 3 months ago, the kids couldn't hear the ball being struck from the sounds of vamos, 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 shouting through the fence the whole time. They couldn't get these guys to shut up. It was like a South American soccer match. Right? She said, so I decided I had enough and I banned cheering altogether. The kids, the only thing the parents are allowed to do is clap at the end. They can't say a single word during their kids' play. What? Yeah, I said, if you cheer, your kids, like, you get a warning, and then it's like your kid would, had done something wrong on the court. You get a warning and you can be disqualified. So what weird thing happened? The parents started talking to each other because they couldn't talk to anyone else. They couldn't shout at their kid. And then one parent said, "You coming next time?" "Yeah." "Well, if you bring the wine, I'll bring the tapas. How about that?" They're like, "Yeah, okay." And now they just have this huge fiesta going on down the side of the court. Sometimes their kids are playing it and they go, "Mum, did you see that shot?" "Oh, hey, how you doing?" "No, I didn't." Right, So I think if you go back to parents, remember parents are under stress and they don't know what they're doing most of the time. And remember that parents can be your biggest salespeople ever. Don't think when they drop their kids off and go to the schoolyard, they're not telling other people the good things that their kids do. Go to this awesome tennis club. The coach is amazing. My kids have so much fun. You still know that word of mouth marketing is still the best. And if you look after those parents, one of the guys I know owns a club, and every month he books a different restaurant just for the parents. They get he doesn't pay for it, but he arranges with the restaurateur. Yeah, can we have the restaurant for this night, and all of our parents get a 30%, 40% discount on the food for the night, and we'll look after the kids at the club. So now he's networking all the parents together, so they're making friends and connecting and feeling like they're connected and doing stuff like that. Yeah. I often say, think about it as if I said to Scott, right, Scott, you have a new job, parent manager. Your only job is to manage parents, right, for the club. It's all you've got to do. What are the things you would do if you were going to be the best parent manager in the world? And then think like that, and you'll come up with one or two little things, and even one or two little things will be really appreciated by your parents, and you will be a legend. Yeah? So there's a lot of things you can do, but you just have to think about it a little bit differently and start thinking kids and parents are both customers. And so a guy came up to me in Oslo and he said, I like what you said, but he said, but I'm not going to do it. That's fine, that's cool. Don't expect anyone to do very much of what I say, to be honest. And he said, yeah, I'm not dealing with parents, I only want to deal with the kids. I said, that's fine. But from now on, you've got to be paid out of the kids' pocket money. Because it's the parent that pays. So if you're going to take their money and not give them anything, I think that's fraud. Right? And he's like, what? So he went away and thought about it. But, I'm not sure he did any change, but you get the idea, Last time someone gave me thousands of dollars every year, I was quite nice to them. Yeah, I looked after them and I at least communicated with them. I didn't sort of make the sign of the cross every single time they came through the gate as if they were, had 666 in their head, the number of the devil or something. And most 90%, 99% of parents, I would say, just need a little bit of love, a little bit of help, a little bit of support. Yeah, we all do that. Okay, if someone could give me some parenting advice, I'll take it straight away. Okay, and I'm getting that 16-year-old girls we want to talk about today, right? Because I'm having trouble with mine, right? She wants to be a Victoria's Secret model. I'm very disturbed about that. That's our in-joke, anyway, between me and my daughter. It's always, don't worry, Dad, I'll look after you when I'm a Victoria's Secret. All right, okay, good, right. So we said we were going to start with what levels we need to work on. So did you line that court over there? Did I see that going on?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to move over to the other court. We're going to look at orange, what levels we're finishing. Then you can start putting those drills back in that we were talking about from yesterday.